Hi, Dean Kesmender here, Director of Melbourne Corporate Health. Hope you're well. So for most of us, today is our last day before we work our way to Christmas. And for Melbourne Corporate Health, it's our last day of providing our corporate health and wellbeing services until the second week of January in 2019. And I thought this would be a great opportunity to sort of reflect on strategies for success of what we've witnessed throughout 2018. So personally, here's some facts. I've personally conducted 1,766 sessions throughout 2018, spanning across 9 companies. And when you've worked with enough people like I have, both in the space of corporate health and fitness, facilitation of workshops, executive coaching and personal training, you truly do begin to notice patterns. And especially, obviously with myself having done this now for near on 17 years. I know that we all want to improve our level of physical, mental and emotional well-being. We all want to achieve results. I think one of the basic fundamental human needs is progression. However, the challenge lies in the fact that with all the people that I've worked with, either in conversation with them or conversations about family and friends, there is a large level of dissatisfaction, either in our physical well-being, mental well-being or emotional well-being. And dissatisfaction actually is important. It is a requirement for change. However, when we link too much pain to certain things that we want to change in our life, it can become quite a large roadblock. And so the problem exists that if we're trying to improve the level of success in whatever area in our life, be it our physical well-being, mental well-being, emotional well-being, personal, professional, in our finances, whatever it might be, if we link too much pain, what ends up happening is the value of that area of our life just drops down. Okay, and that leads to procrastination, hesitation, frustrations, all those sorts of things. So what we want to do is we want to look at some of the lessons that have been learnt because there's no real point reinventing the wheel. So what I have sort of thought about, I've reflected throughout 2018 and looked at some concepts of thinking, maybe some themes of thinking, 9 exactly, and obviously in order, that can assist us all in being our ultimate self, both physically, mentally and emotionally, or at least improving our physical, mental and emotional well-being. And I'm going to count these down. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I will do a blog on it and send it through over the Christmas break. But we've got 9 tips, okay, or concepts, methods of thinking or strategies that my clients have adopted with great results. And I'm going to start from 9 all the way down to 1. So number 9, in regards to exercise, yes, the element of physical well-being, set minimums. Okay, don't try and, especially if you've moved away from your physical fitness for quite some time, just set a minimum of. So make sure your expectations you place upon yourself are really, really easy to achieve. Okay, not going out and running 5 days a week or anything like that. Maybe just getting your shoes on and going for a walk for 30 to 45 minutes, 1 day a week. But what I'm saying here is set your minimums. Number 8, make sure you celebrate small little victories along the way. Often what we do in regards to celebrations, we don't celebrate until the end. We don't celebrate until we've achieved the goal. However, in regards to creating those rituals that then will become ingrained subconscious habits, let's celebrate along the way. So make the celebrations more instant. Okay, so it could just be on your calendar of events, looking at your calendar, literally just ticking off or highlighting that day where you went out and you did your meditation practice, whatever it might be. And what you want to start seeing, and you will start seeing it with more celebrations, okay, is more ticks, more momentum, and that in turn will create the ritual which will eventually become a subconscious ingrained habit. Okay, that was number 8. Number 7. Also linked back to number 8 is the compounding effect. Don't underestimate the compounding effect of small rituals, okay? So small rituals done often will make all the difference. It doesn't take 21 days to form a habit. All research, it's quite a large range, but a minimum of 66 days to 8.5 months to form a habit. So set yourself up with small, regular habits, and the compounding effect, just like interest, will have a dramatic impact through the process of time. And that was number 7. And number 6, this is to do with team dynamics, is to step into someone else's shoes. So step outside your own thinking for a minute, especially if you've got some sort of workplace conflict or a strategy or a strategic alignment that you want to work towards, okay? Put yourself into your colleague's shoes, put yourself into your client's shoes. Don't think that from your perception of thinking, from your map of your thinking, that you have all the answers. Trust me, when you put yourself into other people's shoes, often you'll find these light bulb aha moments will create greater resolution and greater unity, connection and alignment, and being on that, what we often term that same page. So step into someone else's shoes. Number 5, as you count down to 1. We are what we see around us, okay? This is, might be deep for some, but it's also tied into the concept that perception is projection. So what you're perceiving around you is coming directly from within you. So if you don't like what you're noticing, okay, if you don't like what you're noticing around you, whether it's a certain situation, a certain interaction, negativity, okay, ask yourself, how am I responsible for this? How can I influence this situation? What is there to learn from me? The moment you start getting the learnings, you start to influence, you almost start bending reality around you versus pointing the finger. I always say to my son, I said, Zach, the moment you point your finger at somebody else, there's always 3 fingers pointing back. Okay, so take that responsibility in a way on top of yourself in a way that's empowering, okay? That'll lead you towards solution, towards possibility, and that'll allow you to influence yourself and the people that you care about and work with, okay? Number 4, to build confidence, and confidence is always a big thing. It always comes up. To build confidence, do things that make you feel confident. Really, really simple. Someone asked me, so Dan, how do I go about building confidence? Well, do the things, get runs on the board, okay? That's why. Set your expectations, lower the goalposts, okay? Set more minimums of, if it was around losing weight, don't set this big grandiose goal. It might be a minimum of to lose 1/4 kilo a week for 4 weeks or something like that. Okay, or if you did have a weight goal that you wanted to work towards, okay, well, it's a minimum of 90 kilos at least, and a maximum of whatever it might be. Let's say you want to get to I don't know, 85. But set those minimum odds, okay? Keep it really, really simple, okay? Doing things regularly that build up your confidence, okay? That build up your confidence. That's very, very important. Number 3, we're now at the top 3. Very, very important, is admit your flaws and feel comfortable with vulnerability. So admit your flaws, be able to look at yourself, okay, and be able to identify, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. Be able to look at yourself in the mirror and truly answer that question. When you start to bring those things up into your conscious awareness, just the very nature of doing that, by putting it down on paper, you disempower it, okay? Then there's something to work with. I truly believe you do not grow from positivity and things that are always going well in our life, but more so from the challenge, okay? So then being comfortable feeling vulnerable, okay? That's where a lot of growth comes from, but a lot of us avoid that, bottle all that, and just push that down. Okay, now the top 2, really, really important. This is my second top thing, and something I've thought about all this year, and something I've practically applied myself, is lean into discomfort, okay? We live in a society where things are just too comfortable, okay? Where the learning, where the growth comes from is discomfort. And we want to embrace discomfort. We want to learn, we want to look, similar to that step, that tip 3, okay? We want to lean into it, we want to embrace it. That's where the true learning, that's where the true personal growth comes from, okay? That's where we find, I suppose, a deeper level of connection within ourselves, okay? To go within and look within ourselves for all the solutions, okay? But really, instead of trying to avoid, moving away from, what you end up tending to do is welcoming more of the very things that you're trying to avoid. So embrace discomfort, okay? And obviously there's some strategies to make that easy for yourself. And what encompasses all this is my tip number 1, what encompasses it all is self-reflection, okay? In the digital age, we're getting too busy, we're getting too distracted, and we've stopped thinking about our thinking. We need to build that level of self-awareness, that ritual of self-awareness into our life. We need to do that. That allows us to identify, to witness how we're feeling on the inside, how we're acting and interacting, which in turn will allow us to do the things, will allow us to influence the people and places around us. But it all starts within us. So we need to stop and we need to get quiet. We need to reflect. Self-reflection can come in many forms, through journaling, through meditation, through workshopping, you know, and obviously now being the time of the year, a really good time to self-reflect and look at that level of self-awareness, okay? And just, you know, almost do a personal audit for 2018. Okay, so, you know, there are 9 tips that a lot of my clients over the distance of 17 years have applied themselves with great success. So, you know, we now need to work towards thinking about what's important to you. You know, what's important to you right now, because I don't expect you to go out and attend to all areas in life, okay? Because that's just impossible. It's not something you can do. So when you think about 2019, when you reflect on 2018, we think about that vision of success for 2019. What area would you like to experience the greatest level of achievement and of personal growth and of success that will assist you in you being the very best version of yourself? Okay, so think about that area, okay, and then start to look at applying those 9 strategies, those 9 tips into that area of life. Some of them, maybe not all of them, okay? And then as in a close, in regards to stretching, you know, I would love you to explore one of those concepts, one of those tips, okay? And especially one of those tips that is most foreign to you. For some, it might be that element of self-reflection. Maybe you've never used to doing that. Maybe you've never done it. In regards to exercise, maybe you haven't exercised structurally. You haven't actually allocated the time for yourself for many, many years. You know, maybe you haven't, when was the last time you stepped into somebody else's shoes? When was the last time you got conscious about the small progressive rituals? You know, when was it last time that you celebrated, like as you went along the way, or you only celebrated when you actually achieved something at the end? All these little things, you know, take one of these tips on, bring it on board, apply it to yourself. And what you'll start to notice that you'll experience greater levels of progress, of personal growth, success in that area through the process of time, okay? So from myself, Dean Casimiro, Director of Melbourne Corporate Health, and from my team of Lisa, Chris, Mel and Danielle, you know, I wish you and I wish your family a very safe and Merry Christmas. And I think sincerely in 2019, I hope 2019 brings a new level of inspiration within yourself, so you can inspire others and yourself to be their very best in 2019, both physically, mentally and emotionally. Until I hear from you or speak to you next, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the new year. Take care. Bye.